Alright, we've put the 2025 Winnebago Navion 24T through a series of rigorous tests. Comfort, technology, storage, and overall awesomeness. And guess what? It passed with flying colors. So let's break down the top 10 features that make this Class C a certified road trip machine. Buckle up because this is going to be fun. Number one, or my first favorite thing about the new Navion 24T is the 2025 chassis options. Now, we're now working with a 2-liter turbo diesel high output engine here. We also have a 9-speed automatic transmission now, 4-wheel ABS brakes, ESP technology. You still have the 5,000-pound drop bar at the back with a 4-pin and 500-pound of vertical tongue weight available to you. The other thing I want to mention that if you option the low profile front cap with your 24T, you can also option the all-wheel drive chassis, because the dualies we're typically getting are rear-wheel drive Sprinter chassis. Being able to get an all-wheel drive chassis is a fantastic option, and the reason this is at number one. My second favorite thing about the 24T is that we have 320 amp hours of Lithionics battery power running our house batteries here. There are also, as you see, QR code, a companion app with no additional components added to the battery. I can download an app, I can pair, I can see my discharge, my time remaining. I can better monitor this coach with just this battery equipped, and I'm going to talk even more about the capabilities that this battery brings to the coach and why it's number two on my favorite things. So my third favorite thing is actually the new RVMP 4,000 watt inverter generator that is actually flex fuel. It'll run on gasoline and LP, and it's done by an American company in Columbus, Ohio. It's very well done. It's a lot quieter than some of the ones I've worked on over the years, and it's also worth mentioning that we could option this out entirely and do a 960 amp hour Lithionics battery bank with the Bluetooth connectability with the heat switch, as well as 4 120 watt solar panels added to the roof, which is fantastic. So my fourth favorite thing about the 24T is actually going to be the 2,000 watt sine wave inverter on board. So if I go into my home screen here and then I go to my energy management, I can actually turn my inverter on. I can see how much wattage I'm pulling out of that 2,000 watts available. And I want to show you actually outside where it's housed, where I also have a inverter disconnect switch as well as a battery disconnect in the form of a 250 amp breaker. So if we're ever trying to over discharge the battery bank on board, this breaker would trip, and I would be able to investigate what caused that and kind of try to prevent that in the future. And the inverter disconnect itself, if I were to shut that off, I could shut off the charging to the unit, but I could still have the pass-through voltage, so my outlets are gonna function, my microwave as well as the AC, things like that. But if we're in too cold of a climate to charge, I can hard disconnect that charging system. So number 5 is going to be the new Truma Aventa AC. It's a lot quieter than the counterparts we've seen in the Navions over the years, and it's also a lot more efficient. So it works great with that inverter circuit. So as long as I have a lot of power still in my battery bank, I could kick on my AC and run it for a few hours, even when I'm not plugged into shore power. And the fact that it's a lot quieter makes it a lot more conductive for a more comfortable space inside, and it's one of the best new options available. So number 6 is going to be the rear garage. It's extremely large back here. You don't even notice the space that's being taken away from the inside, despite how large this is. We have lights on both sides. We have 110 as well as 12 volt power. We have a external solar port right here, satellite and cable connections. There's even winterization valves housed back here, as well as your fresh tank drain. And you do have tie downs on tracks on both sides, as well as the top corners and in the center. So if we have e-bikes or large bikes or any gear that we want to tie down, we have the ability to do so back here, and it's a heated space. So number 7, we're actually going to be talking about chassis stuff again, and we're going to talk about the incredible safety features that have become available because of Mercedes to the Navion line. So the first thing I want to talk about is the blind spot monitoring assist. It works great with things like the active brake assist, the lane keep assist, the attention assist, the hill start assist, the crosswind assist. There's rain sensors with the automatic wiper blades. There's the Distronic Plus cruise control system. There's so many features that became available from Mercedes and made its way into the Winnebago line to make it a safer ride for you, your family, and your friends on your adventures. So number 8, we're actually stepping inside the cabin here to talk about the seating options. This is more of like a theater seating option we have here. This is the Higa House interior. They also have a Modeler, which is more of an off-white and complements kind of like a gray-white interior. This guy, it's worth mentioning, has USB charging in the center of the theater seating with lighted cup holders, and I also have integrated into the seat cushion recliner switches to make it even more comfortable, in addition to my trays here. So I can have my laptop, do a little work, or my snacks while I'm enjoying a movie. Number 9, saving one of the absolute best features for last, I want to show you the rear bath in the 24T. So we have storage right here above the commode, where we can actually adjust the shelves. We have an above head fan, a controllable on the one control, almost a full wall mirror here, and a basin sink right into the countertop with attractive hardware that I love. We have a porcelain commode, even more storage underneath the sink here with the heating duct just below that. And something I really, really love, we have a 2-door rear closet that is very deep. Hanging storage, so coats, jackets, things that you're kind of like hard pressed to find a place for in your RV, you have plenty of room for in the rear cabinet here. It is so cool. And then the other really amazing feature is me at 6 feet standing in the shower. Of course, we have one of those white curtains that we love, pretty easy to keep clean, and a comfortable bench if I just want to take a load off while I'm taking my shower. I really love the way they've done the hardware, how great this rear bathroom looks, and how it looks kind of more like a high-end resort back than it does an RV. So last and finally, at number 10 is the WinConnect system. So this is also pairable to your phone, so you can control a lot of the systems inside right from your smartphone. The amount of capability that you have right here with controlling almost everything in the coach, as well as its companion app. There's also really cool things like the generator auto start and shut off, as well as one of the most awaited and celebrated features, Pet Minder. So if you have a couple furry friends, if you've been to an RV show, you've probably seen people pushing some strollers, and they're not kids in that stroller, there's those little puppies. And we want to keep those guys protected, we want to keep them comfortable, even if we step away from the RV. So an option like this is like the top tier of something you're looking for as a pet owner that's going to be constantly on the road with your little furry friend. So there you have it. The top 10 features of the 2025 Winnebago Navion 24T. But now it's your turn. Which feature impressed you the most? Drop a comment below and let us know. If you're ready to see this beauty in person, come visit us at Colonial RV or check out our inventory online at colonialrv.com. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on the latest RV tours and tips.